Before you truly understand Bruce Lee's design for winning, there is one uncomfortable truth we need to face. Most of the ways you are trying to build confidence right now are probably not working at all. A lot of people believe confidence comes after one huge victory. They treat it like the climax of a movie. First you struggle, then you finally succeed, and only then do you deserve to feel confident. So all their hope gets locked into one massive goal: getting into a top university, making the first $1 million, delivering one perfect presentation that changes everything. You probably know someone like this. He keeps saying, "Once I land that big deal, I will finally believe in myself." But that goal always sits far away in the future, like a distant lighthouse. Before he ever reaches it, he spends every day trapped in self-doubt and anxiety. This kind of waiting does not build confidence. It slowly drains it. Here is the real truth. Confidence is not a reward you get after success. Confidence is the fuel you need before success can even happen. If you keep waiting for one big win, the small setbacks along the way will wear you down until you quit. That is why Bruce Lee said that when mind and action become one, real power appears. He was not talking about imagination. He was talking about immediate execution. Most people build their confidence on other people's reactions. A compliment from the boss, envy from friends, likes on social media. These things can lift your mood instantly. But this is like charging your phone with a power bank that belongs to someone else. The moment that external power runs out, the moment people stop praising you or paying attention to you, your confidence drops. If you do not have an internal power source, you will always be dependent. Real confidence must shift from passively receiving validation to actively producing it. That internal power system is the true core of what I call a design for guaranteed victory. You probably read many books about confidence. You know meditation helps. You know affirmations help. You are surrounded by all this knowledge, and it feels like you already understand the secret. We've all met this person at the gym. He can explain every training theory in detail. He can tell you exactly how every muscle should work. Yet his own body never changes, because he is only a spectator of knowledge, not a doer of action. Knowledge cannot replace execution. Real confidence grows only from the small tasks you actually complete. And this leads us to the core principle where Bruce Lee's thinking meets modern cognitive science. It is called the momentum of winning. Confidence is not a fixed object. It is a system in motion. It does not suddenly appear after one big achievement. It strengthens every time you complete one small task, and then another. That is what winning momentum really means. Winning momentum works like the first push in physics. Once something starts moving, it becomes easier to keep moving. Every small win activates a reward circuit in your brain. Each time you finish a micro task, even something as simple as putting dirty socks into the laundry basket, your brain releases a tiny amount of dopamine that says, "I can do this." When this feeling stacks again and again, it creates a powerful expectation. I finished the last small task, so I believe I can finish the next one. This is how you start your confidence engine using science instead of motivation. Since we cannot rely on massive goals, there is only one real solution. You must break your goals into tiny pieces and design a path that guarantees small wins. Many people wake up already blaming themselves. "I did not plan last night. Today will probably be wasted again." But imagine if your first task is only this: sit up in bed and drink one glass of water within 5 minutes. This is almost impossible to fail. The moment you finish it, you already own your first win of the day. It looks insignificant, but your winning momentum is now active. What you are really doing is training both your body and your mind to remember the sensation of winning. Once you feel that again and again, you are no longer someone who lacks confidence. You become someone who continuously wins. That is the true purpose of this whole design. Now we enter the core structure of Bruce Lee's design for guaranteed victory. This system is built in layers. Each layer locks into the next. Together they allow you to rebuild confidence within 30 days. The first layer is about breaking goals into the smallest possible actions and reducing resistance to the lowest level. The true enemy of confidence is not difficulty. It is resistance. If a task feels like it requires preparation, the resistance is already too high. You should never tell yourself to write a 3,000-word report. That is too big for the brain to accept. Instead, the task should look like this. Open your laptop. Type the title. Write down 3 keywords. This takes less than 10 minutes, but it is already a completed win. This extreme reduction of task size tricks your brain into thinking this is too easy to reject. Once the first tiny action begins, psychological momentum takes over. You are already in front of the screen. Why not add one more sentence? These small wins that feel too easy to resist become the first spark of your winning momentum. Every micro task should stay under 15 minutes. This is how you fight cognitive overload. Psychology shows that self-control works like a budget. It is very easy to drain. If a task lasts too long, your willpower account gets exhausted and you quit. A 15-minute limit means you always start and finish while there is still energy left. A powerful technique is to stop on purpose before you feel finished. If you are in a writing flow and the 15 minutes end, you stop immediately. This creates anticipation for the next session because you leave with unfinished energy. The second layer is about visible feedback and immediate reward to strengthen the loop. Microtasks only work when your brain clearly senses that a win has occurred. Without a feedback signal, the reward system stays weak. This is why video games are addictive. Every enemy defeated shows points on the screen. Every task completed triggers an achievement. The feedback is instant and visible. You need the same physical feedback in real life. Do not rely only on digital to-do lists. Use a physical notebook or a calendar. When you finish a task, cross it out with a pen or place a real sticker on the page. The physical movement and visual impact stimulate the reward system far more than tapping a screen. Self-reward is necessary, but the reward must stay small and must not damage momentum. If the reward is too big, your brain starts chasing the reward instead of the habit. The wrong reward sounds like this. I worked for 1 hour. Now I deserve 2 hours of gaming or a huge meal. This breaks the healthy loop and creates a cycle of overconsumption and compensation. The right reward is a cognitive snack. After 15 minutes of focus, stand up and stretch, or play 30 seconds of your favorite song. It is instant, light, and it does not interrupt the flow. The third layer is public commitment and social pressure as external fuel. Confidence collapses most easily when you are alone. The moment you make your goals public, you activate identity pressure. Psychology shows that once people publicly state a commitment, they feel a strong need to stay consistent with it. Even when the commitment is small, the brain hates being seen as someone who does not keep their word. You do not need to broadcast grand promises online. You only need one trusted partner who will check in on you. Tell this person, "Today I will complete 3 microtasks." This turns your private challenge into a social contract. You are not doing it for them. You are using their presence to force your own start. If your commitment carries no cost, laziness will always return. The strongest driver is loss aversion. You and your partner can design a tiny penalty that you dislike, but that causes no harm. For example, if I fail today, I will donate a small amount of money to charity, or I'll post a ridiculous selfie in the group. For the human brain, losing money or social status is often more powerful than self-comfort. This external pressure only needs to exist for the first 30 days. Once you build consistent wins, the system becomes internal. At that point, you no longer need pressure. You will crave the feeling of winning itself. The fourth layer is cognitive replacement and identity transformation. This is the final internalization stage. The first three layers deal with action and feedback. The fourth layer rewires who you believe you are. Only when winning becomes part of your identity does confidence become unshakable. Think about running. In the first week, you say, "I am trying to run." That is behavior. After 6 months, you naturally say, "I am a runner." That is identity. The runner identity contains discipline, endurance, and vitality. Once that identity is formed, you no longer question whether you can run today. After each micro task, you must perform a cognitive replacement statement. Do not say, "I finished my task and I feel good." Instead saying, "I am a person who keeps promises," or "I am a person who solves problems proactively." This I am statement plants small wins directly into your core self-image. During these 30 days, failure will happen. Traditional thinking turns failure into proof of personal weakness. A real scientist never says, "I am a failed scientist," after one failed experiment. They said, "This method did not work. I just received valuable data. Now I adjust the parameters." Failure is not a judgment of your worth. It is information. Bruce Lee once said to use no way as way and no limit as limit. In rebuilding confidence, this means never being loyal to one perfect process. If today's micro task fails, tomorrow you do not punish yourself. You treat the failure as data. You shrink the task even further until success becomes unavoidable. The goal is not perfection. The goal is uninterrupted momentum. After 30 days of repeating this loop, your brain no longer needs internal debate. Action becomes automatic. You enter a state of flow. Flow happens when skills and challenges match perfectly, creating deep focus and enjoyment. With micro tasks, your skill always exceeds the challenge. Friction disappears. Starting feels natural. After 30 days, your goal is no longer to complete micro tasks. Your goal becomes protecting your winning system itself. Your confidence no longer depends on any single achievement. It depends on your total control over the system. You now possess self-correction. You are a structured winner. Bruce Lee's design for victory does not promise you wealth or fame. It gives you something far more powerful. Calm in the face of uncertainty. Life will always deliver sudden blows. A major presentation gets canceled. An investment fails. In the past, you might sink into self-doubt for days. Now your response becomes simple. That was the external world. But my micro task list still exists. I still completed 3 wins today. Even on a bad day, I am still a winner. From this moment on, you are no longer a spectator pushed by circumstances. You become the lifelong architect of your personal confidence system. Take out a piece of paper right now. Design your first task. Make it so small that it feels impossible to refuse. Then protect it for 30 days. Remember this, every tiny win is building an unbreakable version of you.